From the murky waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of towering pine forests to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state, documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Welcome to Bayou Wild. We're here at Morton Seafood Restaurant on the banks of the Tchefuncte River in Madisonville, Louisiana. Got an exciting episode. We have a little bit of the fish fry product, so to speak, on the menu today.
Yeah, it's got a good recipe here for you on the menu. Shrimp and catfish. We start off with the crappie psychic. Now, he's known for catching sockeye or crappie, white perch, whatever you want to call them, but there's a certain time of the year, and that time is right now when he targets catfish, special catfish in Des Allemands.
When those cold fronts start coming through, I like to have two cold fronts. After the first two cold fronts, it gets unbelievable. The fish get a little bigger, so you catch a little nicer fish, and it's just one after the other. I don't know exactly why that happens, but I've been doing it for over 45 years, and normally the end of September, October, November, even into December is really good.
And then we head out to St. Bernard Parish. We go out on the Peruga with George, and he's a shrimper. You can actually take your own charter to go shrimping, and that's what we did. We got up really, really early. We went out on the shrimp boat. You see how it's all done.
An overnight trip. You leave in the afternoon. We drag all night, catch a few shrimp. You eat on the boat. You get to see the sun go down. Sleep. You can take the wheel. You can cook. It's your choice. I usually cook a Croatian shrimp stew that night, and then next morning we'll jump in the bayou where we got today. Sometimes you slam them in the bayou. Then we come on home, we eat breakfast. Everybody gets a percentage of the catch.
And then on the boat we get a Croatian shrimp stew cooked with the shrimp that we actually caught that day. You don't want to miss it.
Croatian shrimp stew cooked the way my mom and daddy taught me. Except without green pepper because I forgot it in the truck. My daddy would be upset.
Shrimp stew, Croatian style. Croatians know what they're doing. Closed captioning made possible by Ceto.com. Become a member. Discover the taste of Louisiana that's seasoned just right. Boiled to perfection. Enriched with tradition. A taste that's savory, crispy, and a little sweet. Discover the taste of Louisiana fish fry products. Coming up later with the crappie psychic, we're catching catfish in Des Allemands.
Oh yeah. Yes,
Get a slime on that.
All right, over the years, I got tired of re-rigging my slip cork every time I'd get hung up on something in this bayou. There's a lot of hang-ups down here, and you pop your line. You'd have to put another bobber stopper all the way on the line and re-rig the whole thing. Well, I got tired of doing that. So I got like some 30-pound tests, real strong, and I set it at 15 feet, and I got a swivel right here. So now I constantly have a 15-foot depth set to this swivel. And I started making leaders.
If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D. Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D. Martha, do you know where the catfish capital of the universe is?
In fact, I do. Des Allemands, because their Catfish Festival is one of the hottest days I ever did a live event at.
Well, they do have some excellent catfish,
Yes.
and the legislature actually designated it as the best in the universe.
The universe.
The
So,
whole universe.
You know, if there's other catfish on other planets, they can't win either.
Good friend of mine, Paige Patterson, and I took a trip down there with the crappie psychic, Capt Clyde Folse. And, you know, usually when you go fishing for fish, you target big fish. That's what you want.
Right.
Totally opposite.
Not this
You want
fish.
the small ones. We'll tell you the story with Capt Clyde Folse. Yeah, that's a good. All right, you know when you're out there saltwater fishing and you get a catfish, you don't even want to tell anybody, but not today because we're fishing in the catfish capital of the universe.
Well, you know, you can catch them all up and down this bayou. All the way to Lake Des Allemands, you can catch them all the way to Lake Salvador just about. Depends what you like to fish and how you like to fish. A lot of people like tight line. They like to feel that fish hit. I like fishing with a carp. You know that because you've been fishing with me for quite a while. Even when it comes to sac-a-lait fishing, I love watching that carp. But for those people that like fishing tight line, it's not really a good spot around these bridges to fish tight line because there's so much stuff on the bottom here. Old lines and boxes and nets, you name it. So the bottom all along these bridges is riddled with hang-ups. So that's why it's not real good to fish tight. And you're gonna catch more channel cat when you fish the bottom. Channel cat's a bottom feeder. Blue cats are gonna be suspended. That's why when we're fishing in 25 feet of water, we're fishing 16 and 18 foot deep. And that's where I find that's the most consistent depth to catch the blue cats. All right. Awesome. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty nice fish. I like to have two cold fronts. After the first two cold fronts, it gets unbelievable. The fish get a little bigger, so you catch a little nicer fish, and it's just one after the other. I don't know exactly why that happens, but I've been doing it for over 45 years, and normally the end of September, October, November, even into December is really good.
Right, there's another one. Now, you may be wondering why are Don and Paige catching such small fish? Well, we're actually targeting these small catfish, and I'm going to let Captain Clyde tell you why.
I love blue cat. The smaller the blue cat, the better. So I love 10-inch to 14-inch blue cat. I find that's the best tasting fish. They don't have any strong taste to them yet. Their skin's not real thick. They don't have a major bloodline in the fish. The fat content is low. Channel cat, even though it's small, it still has a lot more fat content. And you'll see that when I'm showing you the fillets. Doesn't mean that they're gonna have a stronger taste every time. No, it does not. But there's nothing worse than sitting down with a nice big plate of fried catfish and getting that one piece of fish that makes you say, I don't even know if I want to eat any more. That's how bad it tastes. And that can happen with a channel cat, which we call eel cat. Now, goujon or flathead, like we talked about earlier, delicious. You just don't catch them that often. So that's my opinion and advice on catfish and which ones you taste the best.
All right, this guy might be a little bigger. Either that or he came to play.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed.
Got a slime on that.
All right, over the years, I got tired of re-rigging my slip cork every time I'd get hung up on something in this bayou. There's a lot of hang-ups down here, and you pop your line. You'd have to put another bobber stopper all the way on the line and re-rig the whole thing. Well, I got tired of doing that. So I got like some 30-pound tests, real strong, and I set it at 15 feet, and I got a swivel right here. So now I constantly have a 15-foot depth set to this swivel. And I started making leaders. So that's how I do my 16 and 18. I come down a foot from the swivel, put a hook, go down another 2 foot, put another hook, and then put a very heavy, I'm gonna say that's about 1 ounce weight to get to your depth quick. And that way you can also fish in the current, and that's why I use this big carp. So it'll hold up this weight this 1 ounce weight, and it'll get down to my depth quickly. My baits work really well overnight on trout lines, my trailers, but for fishing like this, it's hard to beat live worms, and also crawfish tails work good also.
Here it comes. Now, one other really good thing about catching catfish is the limit is 100 per day per person, and you can keep 25 underneath the minimum size. So there's plenty of catfish to go with your hush puppies.
So I'm old-fashioned when it comes to cleaning these catfish. I skin them first, and then I fillet them. So to skin them, you cut under the first top fin, cut on each side, go through the belly, like that. Pull on the skin a couple of times on each side, like that, done. Then I just fillet that after I finish skinning all of them.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouses.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouses. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouses makes.
Here's how I guarantee my crawfish taste great every time. I use what the pros use. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because, guys, it has more herbs and spices.
It has a much better flavor.
It's easy. Just pour and boil.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, pour and boil for great crawfish every time. The Louisiana Wildfowl Festival is coming to the Castine Center at Mandeville's Pelican Park. On display will be over 2,000 hand-carved and collected decoys and other stunning wildlife by world champion carvers. Compare your favorites with judges awarding over $40,000 in prizes. Appreciate and purchase through Sunday's auction outstanding wildlife and wildfowl art. See live decoy carving and painting at the Louisiana Wildfowl Festival at the Castine Center in Mandeville. Complete details at lwccg.com.
For Captain George Barisic, commercial fishing has been a family legacy for decades.
I'm Croatian. I'm not French. I'm a Croatian commercial fisherman. My dad came from the old country. Ended up in Biloxi where they did a lot of shrimping. And he ended up shrimping. And then I'm not your typical commercial fisherman. Now, he made us go to school, but every summer we came out here on the boat. You didn't have a choice of doing nothing. So I learned to trade and I went to school at the same time. I busted up my back where I couldn't work, so I went to law school, and then that didn't work either. I come back on a boat, fixed my back, and I've been at it for 42 years I've been shrimping.
And aboard his vessel, the Peruga, you too can try your hand as a shrimp boat captain.
Basically, it's either an overnight trip, you leave in the afternoon, we drag all night, catch you shrimp, you eat on the boat, you get to see the sun go down, sleep, you can take the wheel, you can cook, it's your choice. I usually cook a Croatian shrimp stew that night, and then next morning we'll jump in the bayou where we're at today. Sometimes you slam them in the bayou. Then we come on home, we eat breakfast, everybody gets a percentage of the catch. And they get all the crabs and all the fish, the people that do the shorter trip. Like I said, it's just a good time. You know? And your phones don't work. So you're taking 18 hours away from the phone. So like my son wrote the little thing for the fly. He said, put your phone on boat mode because it ain't gonna work anyway.
Well, we left Wyclosky at about 3 a.m. this morning. After a 3-hour ride, we arrived here at 9 Mile, got the net down, hopefully going to come up with a slammer-jammer full of shrimp.
You know, we get up really early for a lot of these filmings, but when you get up before 2 o'clock in the morning, it's not considered early morning anymore. It's considered middle of the night, but it's worth it. We got a nice little nap in, get breakfast cooked, and we're going to get some shrimp, hopefully to put in those omelets.
Good weather, hopefully we'll get some good shrimp. Stick around. All right, Martha, let her rip. Woo! Yeah! Let's get to work.
There you go.
I used to pride myself on fish identification, but this is one I've never seen before.
The Louisiana Wildfowl Festival is coming to the Casting Center at Mandeville's Pelican Park. On display will be over 2,000 hand-carved and collected decoys and other stunning wildlife by world champion carvers. Compare your favorites with judges awarding over $40,000 in prizes. Appreciate and purchase through Sunday's auction outstanding wildlife and wildfowl art. See live decoy carving and painting at the Louisiana Wildfowl Festival at the Casting Center in Mandeville. Complete details at lwccg.com.
If you hunt or fish, you really need to check out 20echo.com. It's an app that you can take on the water or on the hunt. It logs all the information. It's got the date, the GPS location, tons of information to log your catch or kill. It's a great thing to have. Check it out at 20echo.com and you'll see it more on Bayou Wild TV.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouses.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouses. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouses makes.
Shrimping tours on the Peruga are as hands-on as you want them to be. Captain George guarantees a unique experience that will leave you with a new appreciation for the work of commercial fishermen.
It's an awakening, you know? They think you just go to the grocery store, well, where did this come from? Well, if it comes from imports, you don't want it anyway. But, you know, for the amount of time and effort that it takes, and the sad part about it, I got more shrimp in the 70s than I'm getting now. More for shrimp in the 70s than I'm getting now. So the industry is dying, and nobody wants to help us keep it. They love what we cook, they love what we bring, but nobody wants to help us keep it. We're afraid that's going to change.
So, being a deckhand, I'm pretty used to long days on the water, 16-hour days, but you have a newfound respect for shrimpers if you go out with them. Your alarm clock's gonna go off not so much early morning, middle of the night really, and you're only moving about 8 miles an hour, so it takes a little while to get out there. They're physically moving stuff all day. It's a lot of work. It's not quite non-stop, but it's a long day, and there's a lot of sorting, a lot of dirty stuff to get through, and of course storms as well. So you gotta appreciate what they do, and you should never complain about how much shrimp costs when you see how hard this is.
Basically, we're going to get everything done, the steps. We're going to get the shrimp prepared, the sausage prepared, the sauce, everything's in there. Now, we're going to cook about an hour and a half, but it should cook up and down. Put a little water, cook down. Put a little more water, cook down. About 3 hours, it tastes better. But everybody looks kind of hungry. All that work and all that rain making us hungry. I don't think anybody's going to complain.
Discover the taste of Louisiana that's seasoned just right. Boiled to perfection. And rich with tradition. A taste that's savory, crispy, and a little sweet. Discover the taste of Louisiana fish fry products.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Find out if alternative treatment is the answer to your pet's health issues. Contact Dr. G at vetnaturally.com. In Louisiana, the mantra "Buy local, buy Louisiana seafood" is well known, and getting down and dirty as a shrimp boat deckhand will leave you with a sense of importance on buying local seafood.
I want the people to have the opportunity to see, come out here, enjoy it, see what it's all about before they kill it. Because if we don't do something to get our shrimp prices up, they're going to kill it here. Why, I don't know, but they're going to kill it. So you're not going to have that opportunity.
On the letter rip.
Woo!
Yeah! Let's get to work.
There you go. Yeah, so far, every trip I had, everybody wants to get, and the women, I never thought I'd see this. They put their hair back, and they get there, they pick, and they want to try and save every little fish, you know, and they want to save everything, they want to get in the middle of it. It's fine with me. And then they want to start talking recipes on the way in. How you cook that? How you cook? So I can't tell you that, I forget you.
So everybody knows that I deckhand, and in the wintertime when we can't catch live bait, these are primarily what we use, cookies, dead cookies. We buy them in a box. Now we know where they come from.
What are you going to do with one of these?
Put that over here.
You got it.
And we're saving this. Check this out. Got a bucket of squid. This makes great grouper bait. They sell these for quite a pretty penny, so we'll save those too. Look at this guy. That's seen better days.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got to go.
Good size shrimp here. Having gotten stung by a catfish before, sorting definitely made me careful. I wanted to use the rake a little bit more than my hands because, of course, you still get those catfish in there and they'll stick you really good. So sorting was cool. You see all kinds of bait, anything from pogies to hornbellies to eels to catfish, flounder, baby flounder, even a couple baby pompanos were in there. We didn't see too many crabs though, but there's certainly a lot of bycatch. I used to pride myself on fish identification, but this is one I've never seen before.
You can't help but fantasize over all the different possibilities in the kitchen while you sort hundreds of pounds of shrimp.
Well, you see, you got fried shrimp, blackened shrimp, stewed shrimp, boiled shrimp, shrimp po' boy, shrimp stew, shrimp gumbo, Cajun shrimp.
We got stuffed shrimp.
It's pretty
shrimp.
much the fruit of the sea.
It doesn't get any fresher than a piping hot pot of Croatian shrimp stew prepared by Captain George with the shrimp that were swimming just minutes before. Preparation is simple. Saute onions, bell pepper, and mushrooms, brown some sausage, and peel a pound or two of your freshly harvested shrimp.
I peeled, pretty fresh, day of, but not hours, 2 hours out the water, if that.
Then add tomato sauce to your veggies and season shrimp to your liking. Captain George will tell you the key to a good stew is time.
Basically, we're going to get everything done, the steps. We're going to get the shrimp prepared, the sausage prepared, the sauce, everything's in there. We're going to cook about an hour and a half, but it should cook up and down. Put a little water, cook down. Put a little more water, cook down. About 3 hours, it tastes better. But everybody looks kind of hungry. All that work and all that rain making us hungry. I don't think anybody's going to complain.
While a hearty meal simmers, the shrimpers' work on deck continues.
So it's pretty relaxing. You can kind of get lost in your thoughts while doing it. I'm sure, they turn music on and cut loose too, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't rough. We didn't have to worry about any rocky waves or anything, and even though we did get soaking wet, you got all your amenities inside.
Croatian shrimp stew, cooked the way my mom and daddy taught me. Except without green pepper because I forgot it in the truck. My daddy would be upset.
Shrimp stew, Croatian style. Croatians know what they're doing.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouses.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouses. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouses makes.
Here's how I guarantee my crawfish tastes great every time. I use what the pros use. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because, guys, it has more herbs and spices.
It has a much better flavor.
It's easy. Just pour and boil.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, pour and boil for great crawfish every time.
So that was a really fun trip, and we did get a little bit wet. It was a rainy day out on the lake, but we managed to get quite a few shrimp, and they were delicious. As a reminder, we are now selling shirts at shopsft.com. Tell them where to go.
Well, you can go to shopsft.com and pick up your Bayou Wild Collection shirt. And don't forget, you can look it up on social media, BayouWildTV.com, also there. Instagram, Facebook, you need to follow us. Next week, we're going teal hunting with Captain Ryan Lambert.
One of the hottest teal seasons I can recall, and maybe the birds reflected that as well.
Well, this year we had the second lowest number of birds in southeast Louisiana in history, right before the season, and we just don't have that many birds. We haven't had a front. We're managing to get into flyways and kill birds. I've limited out 3 out to 5 days. First day I didn't, and today I'm not gonna. We're staying on until 9:30, 10 o'clock to get our limit, but favorite blind's killing 18. We've killed the number. Our share of 5,000, that's for sure. In this marsh, everything's alive, and you're in the marsh for the first time. We love it. We even had a couple of mosquitoes this year. I mean, usually we don't, but there's nothing I can't live with, that's for sure. It's not like...
And if you're going to go hunting, you got to have a good retriever. We'll give you some tips on dog training coming up too.
And then, of course, we're going to cook some dove up with Chef John Folse. Some delicious dove. Oh, they were so good.
Yum, yum. Next week, for you hunters, got a special dish from Chef John Folse, White Oak Plantation.
A little braised doves evangeline. You don't want to miss that.